Joining me now is Jean Gargare. He's chairman of the board of the DIA, and also Annmarie Erikson. She is the executive vice president of the DIA. Welcome. We talked last year. I know we were talking about the millage and the wonderful things that the DIA does. That millage passed, and now you find yourselves in the headlines again and talking about the city of Detroit. So I'd like to talk about that, if we can kind of get that up front. First of all, Annmarie, let me ask you, what is the DIA's position, and when did you first find out that Kevin Orr was looking at the art collection?
Well, the DIA's position is that we hold the art in trust for the public, and that it is not an asset that can be sold. It's not a fungible asset. And we believe both the city believes that and the state believes that just as much as we do. So we understand that there is a lot of conversation happening right now around our collection, but we firmly believe that the way to a stronger, better Detroit is not by dismantling the DIA, and we think that we're in accord with Mr. Orr on that.
Jean, what was your first reaction, and when did you first hear that this conversation was taking place?
Well, first reaction harkens back to what you said earlier last summer when we were here working together in a regional way, a successful way to build something very special. My first reaction was to make sure that Kevin Orr and his colleagues really understood the nature of the value, not just financially, but intrinsically to our entire state. So we're continuing to talk and try and make people aware in rebuilding Detroit. You build from strength. You don't dismantle your strength. I first learned in some conversations we've had within the last 4 or 5 weeks. I was contacted and began the discussions on behalf of the museum. Learned a little more what the challenges are that the financial manager is facing, and we've continued those discussions.
And it's no secret that there are financial challenges to the billions and billions of dollars that are owed to creditors. I mean, no one's going to dispute that. But is there anything that you can do legally, or what's the next step to make sure that something doesn't happen?
Well, the next step is really with the Emergency Financial Manager's Office. They are trying to build a plan to bring Detroit out of the crisis that it's in. And so we're waiting to hear from them and see what their plan is.
I want to talk about, since the millage has passed, and we really do have a regional feeling that the DIA belongs to the region, and so many people benefit from it. Of course, people from around the country as well that see this fantastic collection. But what has been happening at the museum for the past year or so?
Well, it's extremely rewarding, and Annmarie is there every day to observe the tremendous increase in visitorship. You can't pick up any kind of news media without hearing national and international acclaim for what we were able to accomplish. It's not just for the DIA, it's for our city, our state, and our region. This is a regional, national resource. And I think any of the leadership in the business community will really be excited to hear about what this is meaning for our state.
How has the millage made a difference, and what are you seeing in terms of programs and visitors?
We're free, and free is a powerful incentive, and we have seen our visitation just increase. For one quick example is during the spring break week when kids were out of school, our numbers this year were triple what our numbers were the previous year. So we are seeing,
amazing to see.
If you come into the museum right now on any given Thursday or Friday during this time of year, the place is full of school kids. And it's our pleasure to be able to provide bus transportation and free admission for those groups too. So it really is very gratifying to see the place so busy, to see so many people engaging with the museum. People who haven't been there for years coming in and saying, wow.
And Annmarie, you can't put a price tag on the exposure of kids to art and culture when maybe they haven't been able to be exposed to before.
They have to know that places like the DIA are here for them, that they can come in and walk around and look at these amazing examples of human creativity dating back centuries. It really is inspirational, and I think it's that kind of spark that creates the artists of tomorrow.
So, Jean, one of my favorite things was, and I was just telling you before we started talking, that I loved seeing the art around the community. And even when I was walking up here to the Grand Hotel, the art is back and around. Is that going to be happening this year again?
Well, and again, that just highlights that this art is for all of us, everyone. And that theme carried over from last year. It's contagious. The idea to share it as we have here, everywhere, is all part of the plan to make the museum all-inclusive. And it's very gratifying to hear people who've never been at the DIA come there, some of them because of what they've seen in the displays here and other places in the state, to see the real pictures.
So we can expect it in communities around us
We
this
will
summer?
be in communities throughout the summer. In fact, our summer swing includes Belle Isle in the riverfront area and a number of suburban communities, so it'll be fun.
That'll be great to see. Annmarie Erikson and Jean Gargare, thank you so much for joining me. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Christy.
Enjoy the rest of the conference.
You too.